Now, these strategies, because they're based on trying to get your brain to memorize or to remember something, there are going to be specific things that come up as you hear some of these strategies. And I want to tell you what they are, so when they do come up, you can deal with them. Now you can either listen to them or you can realize that Mr. O'Leary said that they were going to come up, and that he also said don't let them stop you from developing your master memory. So two ideas are going to come up. One is this is silly. I get that quite a bit when I start talking about these strategies. Somebody will say, well, this is silly. They'll also, depending on how polite they're being, they'll say this is stupid. Okay, so this is silly will come up because, and you'll see why. But what's going to happen is these are strategies that sometimes use the outrageous, sometimes use the ridiculous, sometimes use the silly, sometimes use the gross, whatever it is, in order for you to take things that you don't really know, you don't really like, they don't really mean anything to you, and make them memorable. The next thing, and this is a real tricky one, is this takes too long, it takes too much work. This is true to some extent. There are things that I'm going to show you that take some time. Some of them take just a few seconds, and some of them require a little bit of work, kind of the way you learned your multiplication tables. You have to memorize your multiplication tables, but then for the rest of your life, you can do math very quickly. What I'm going to suggest to you is that you should not let those lies prevent you from becoming a memory master, because they are going to save you hundreds of hours. And however you would measure frustration or just wasted time, they will save you hundreds of hours. And these are my 5 favorite memory master strategies, or these are my 5 favorite memory strategies. But before we walk away from the 2 lies that you need to be aware of and then dismiss, our goal is to get you to be able to do, part of education is to get you to do something that you don't know how to do. And when you start doing it, you're not really that good at it, but then you get better at it, and it gets to be faster and easier. When you start to drive a car, especially if you've ever driven a standard transmission, it's really hard. You're paying attention to everything. You're hyper aware of everything that you're doing. Probably was that way when you rode a bike. Probably was that way when you started to swim. All of these things take a lot of attention and energy when you start. But if you get good at them, you become much faster, and it actually becomes much more comfortable and even fun. And my job, and the reason I talk about being a memory ninja, is I want you to get so good at these strategies that you can learn stuff and store stuff in your brain really, really quickly. And I think of it like a ninja coming under attack. If when you start to attack a ninja and you punch a ninja, if he has to stop and think about all his strategies, well, you're going to punch him right in the nose. But he can do all of his defenses so quickly that he just moves you around without any effort. And that's what I want you to be able to do. So my 5 favorite memory strategies are these, and these are the ones we're going to go over today. Memory objects, linking and storytelling, attribute packing, the memory palace, and the basic number objects. And this is actually a little out of order. I'm going to change it around a little bit. We're going to start with linking and storytelling, because I think that it's helpful to talk about storytelling and then lead into memory objects. Storytelling is a great tool because we can remember stories. Somebody can tell us a story once and we can remember that story. And there's something about the way our brain works where we can hear and we sort of fill in the blanks and we follow the story. And so I'm going to tell you a story right now. And I don't want you to do anything but listen to the story. I'm going to start the story and I want you to listen to it. And then we'll talk about why it's valuable.